Greetings everyone. Hope all of you are having an absolutely fantastic day. We're back again with more Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. This time, wow, you all never cease to amaze me. I gotta admit, out of all the people I listed in that poll, did not see Blade coming out on top, and certainly didn't see him taking over 50% of the vote. It's actually nice to see Blade get so much love. I was a really big fan of those first two movies, thought Wesley Snipes did a fantastic job, and was kind of a little disappointed, to be honest with you, when I heard they were doing a new Blade movie with no involvement from him whatsoever. But hopefully, when the movie actually comes out, he gets some sort of shout out and they put some money in that brother's pocket, because I really do feel like Wesley Snipes did a lot to pave the way for Marvel to do what it's doing now. And I absolutely love what he did with the Blade character. So let's look at possibly recreating this character in the game. Obviously, Blade uses a lot of guns, and there's no way for us to replicate that here. He also uses a lot of bombs, and we already did a bomb build before. I don't want to really go back into that. So I want to focus on the sword that he's very, very famous for using, and see if we can craft a build revolving around a vampire hunter who runs right into the fray with one sword and just absolutely decimates all of his enemies. Let's go ahead and dive in. So we're going to start out being an Aldori defender in the fighter group. Usually I would just jump right into setting up the character, but this is one of those rare situations where we're actually going to bounce back and forth between a few different classes. So I feel like it'll be useful for you all to understand the mechanics so you can kind of see where we're going. So the claim to fame for Aldori defenders is they get weapon proficiency in the dueling sword right off the bat. You are going to lose some of the bonus combat feats that fighters get access to, but in exchange for that, you're going to get defensive parry, which means when a defender makes a full attack with a dueling sword, you're going to gain a +1 bonus to AC against melee attacks into the beginning of your next turn. You're also going to lose armor training, but it doesn't matter because you're not going to be wearing any armor once you gain a few levels in the game. You're also going to get steel net. So when fighting defensively with a dueling sword, the Swordlord's penalties on all attacks in a round are reduced by 2, and the dodge bonus to AC is increased by 2 for the same round. And then finally at level 10, you're going to get counterattack, which means you can make an attack of opportunity as an immediate action against an opponent who hits you with a melee attack, so long as the attacking creature is within reach. So as you can see, this is a character who's basically meant to jump into the fray, have a whole bunch of enemies around you, and be able to just swing your sword and absolutely decimate them. Sounds like Blade to me. Now we're going to take a few levels of that, and then we're going to briefly jump into Aldori Swordlord. We're only going to take a 1 level dip at first so we can get Death Strike, and then we're going to finish out more of Aldori Defender and then jump back in here for some of the things we could do regarding shaking and intimidating enemies. Alright, now for now, let's go ahead and just jump in and start building this out. So we're going to be a Dhampir. Blade is half vampire. And we're going to choose the Dhampir heritage. I'll be honest, I'm very conflicted about this. Really, when you look at the heritages, Vampire Kingborn is the one that fits Blade the most. But unfortunately, we really need to specialize in dexterity for this build. I hate the way your stat points shake out if you go with this particular heritage. So we're just going to go with regular Dhampir instead. But if you wanted to go all the way with the role-playing aspect of this, I would probably recommend the Vampire Kingborn heritage. Now for background, we're going to go with Blade, Martial Disciple. Blade is someone who's very, very well known to be extremely dangerous, even if he has no weapons in his hands. So this fits him perfectly. All right, now as far as ability points, we're going to leave 10 on strength. I'm very, very well aware that Blade is actually extremely strong, but this is not really a game to me where you can max out strength and dexterity and still try to move forward with an effective character. So you really want to choose one. We're going to go with dexterity for this particular build. 18 in dexterity, 14 on constitution. We are a frontline fighter, so you need more. 14 in intelligence. It'll be clear much later on why it's to our advantage to have more points into this, but right up front as well, we need more skill points so that we'll be able to put points into the skills that we need in order to get some of the other classes that we want to dip into. We'll leave wisdom at 10, and then we'll put a couple of points into charisma. I definitely know that Blade is a very charismatic and intimidating individual, but there will be other things we're going to pick up along the level ups that will make it clear to all of his enemies how fearsome he actually is. Now for skills, like I mentioned before, you need to put your points into specific skills so that you can get access to the classes that you need. So we're going to go persuasion, perception, and mobility for the first 3 levels. For your level 1 feat, I will go with life dominant soul. So even though you're Dampier and actually healed by negative energy, by taking this feat, it's going to allow you to be healed by channeled positive energy. You still can't be healed by spells, so cure light wounds, cure moderate wounds, things of that nature will not help you. But when a cleric or an oracle is channeling positive energy, it will heal you for half damage. And I feel like this helps us cover the Daywalker aspect of Blade as well, making it clear that yes, he has vampire blood, but he's not vulnerable to all the same things that they are. And then for our bonus combat feat, we'll go ahead and choose Weapon Finesse. This is going to allow us to use our Dexterity modifier instead of our Strength modifier on attack rolls with the dueling sword. And then when it comes to Deity, we're going to go ahead and choose Pharasma. I feel like this makes sense. She shares Blade's extreme dislike of all the undead. And then for alignment, me personally, I'm going to go with neutral. Even though Blade is someone who's oftentimes fighting on the side of heroes and fighting to help people, he's not necessarily what I would call like, you know, the goody-goody type guy. He's more Punisher than he is Spider-Man. So I feel like neutral fits him a lot more. This is about as close as I can get to him with a Dampier race. Aggressive voice. For your level 2 bonus feat, go ahead and pick up dodge. For your level 3 feat, get weapon focused dueling sword. At level 4, increase strength. And then at level 4 for your skills, you've got your level 3 in perception and your level 3 in mobility. You still need to increase persuasion, but take the other 2 points and put them in knowledge world. For your feat, go ahead and pick up dazzling display. And then at level 5 for your skills, go ahead and put another point in persuasion, another point in knowledge world, and then I put that last point in perception. For your feat, go ahead and take outflank. Outflank was actually available for you at level 4, but I feel like the rest of your party members, most of them are not going to get until level 5, so it makes more sense to just wait before you take it. But as I've mentioned many times before, all of your physical damage oriented characters like your melee fighters and your archers should definitely be taking outflank. It's going to give you an increase to your attack bonus when you're flanking, and whenever one of your party members or whenever you score a critical hit against a flank creature, it provokes an attack of opportunity from your ally. Great stuff. For weapon training, dueling swords are under heavy blades. Take that. Now at level 6, we're going to go into Aldori Swordlord. For skills, you want to go ahead and take persuasion, perception, and mobility. We go into Aldori Swordlord to get death strikes. Now we can add our dexterity bonus to damage rolls made with our dueling sword. Now at level 7, we're going to go back into Aldori Defender. For your level 7 feat, get power attack, but do not activate it. We're only getting this to unlock some of the feats that we want access to. At level 8, go ahead and increase dexterity and continue to increase dexterity during all of your level ups. At level 9, take improved critical dueling sword. At level 10 for weapon training, take armed bravery, which is going to take your bonus from bravery, which increases your will saves against fear and makes it apply to all of your will saving throws. At level 11, take Dreadful Carnage. So now whenever you reduce an enemy to 0 or fewer hit points, you'll automatically make a Persuasion Intimidate check to demoralize all enemies within 30 feet as a free action. Dreadful Carnage requires you to have at least a 15 on strength. So we take 1 point in strength, and then you'll need to make sure you have a +4 strength belt on when you take when you're trying to take this feat. Nothing except equipment counts to increase your attribute points. So you can't use something like Enlarged Person to give yourself a size bonus on strength and keep you from having to take that point. And we definitely want to have this skill, so it's worth taking one attribute point and putting it into strength. All right, now that we have counterattack from Aldori Defender and we have Dreadful Carnage, let's go back up and finish out Aldori Swordlord. So the advantage of going into Aldori Swordlord is it's going to allow us to use half of our class level on persuasion skill checks made to intimidate. So usually when you want to make intimidation type characters, you want to focus on strength and then get, I think it's called intimidating prowess. That's going to allow you to take your strength bonus and add it to your intimidation checks. But at being an Aldori Swordlord, it allows us to be a dexterity based fighter while using our class level to provide a similar boost, making it well worth it to go down this path. At level 13, take Shattered Defenses. So now any opponent that is shaken by you and then hit by you in a round is flat-footed to your attacks until the end of your next turn. If an opponent is flat-footed, they lose their dexterity bonus to AC, making them significantly easier for you to hit. As an Aldori Swordlord, you also get defensive parry the same way you do with Aldori Defender, and these bonuses to your AC stack. At level 15, take Greater Weapon Focus, Dueling Sword. At level 17, take Piranha Strike. At level 19, take Weapon Specialization, Dueling Sword. Okay, so now we're about to take the 10th level of Aldori Swordlord. So let's recap a little bit what this gives you. It's going to give you Shatter Confidence, which means you can attempt to intimidate and demoralize a target as a free action every time you confirm a critical hit. Also, if the enemy is already shaken, you can still attempt to do a demoralization, but instead of shaking the enemy, it'll cause it to suffer a -1 penalty on attack rolls and saving throws, and it will lose all morale bonuses to these checks. And then at level 10, that penalty increases to 2, and the target also loses all insight and competence bonuses to those checks. So a huge debuff against your enemies. You're also going to get Saving Slash, which means as long as you're wielding a dueling sword, which you absolutely should, you can try to deflect a critical hit that has targeted you, reducing its damage to that of a normal hit with a 25% chance of success. And then at level 9 of Aldori Swordlord, it increases to a 50% chance of reducing the critical hit damage. I've already mentioned that you get 2 buffs of defensive parry, and then you're also going to get adaptive tactics. You reduce the attack roll penalty for fighting defensively by 1 and then by 2 at 8th level. In addition, when a creature is able to attack you for the first time, you're going to attempt a perception check, DC 10 plus the opponent's base attack bonus, and if you're able to succeed in it, you're going to gain a +2 circumstance bonus on attack rolls and to your AC against that creature until the end of combat. So all of this together is going to make you extremely tanky and make it much easier for you to be able to intimidate enemies and cause them to take a major debuff when you are successfully able to demoralize them. Great stuff, fits in perfectly with Blade. Okay, now let's jump over to the Mythic rank so we can go ahead and become a legend. At Mythic level 1, go ahead and take Dance Macabre. Because you are a Dhampir, once again, you're not going to be healed by the same things as everybody else. It's really nice for you to have your own way to be able to heal yourself when you want to. In addition, you're going to gain a +4 bonus on saving throws against death effects, and you gain a +2 bonus on AC saving throws, weapon attacks, and damage rolls against creatures with negative energy affinity. So to me, this fits in with Blade specializes in taking on vampiric type enemies. So keep in mind, as a legend, you will only have 2 mythic choices that you can make. So unfortunately, we can't go through the usual list that we would for melee-oriented characters. At Mythic level 1, I'm going to recommend you go ahead and take Last Stand. You're going to always be out in the fray. I definitely feel like this person should be your main tank. So you're going to definitely want to make sure that he is sturdy and can and can stand up when things get really, really tough. And then for Mythic Level 2, again, most of the things that we would want, we're not going to have access to. Unless you respec later on in the game, you're not going to have access to Improved Critical. You're not going to have access to Piranha Strike, things of that nature. So we're going to have to pick something that would actually be available at level 2. So we're going to go ahead and take Weapon Focus, Dueling Sword. This is going to give you a +2 bonus to attack rolls for your Dueling Sword. And then at Mythic Level 3, you just automatically become a legend. Okay, one other note that I forgot to mention. You should become a legend if you head straight for the Mythic quest that's going to allow you to do this. You're probably going to become a legend by around level 17 or 18. So basically starting from level 17 in this build all the way up to level 34, 35, you're going to be doing that back to back to back to back to back. Basically, there's a huge jump in your levels once you become a legend. So just keep that in mind. Really, for these next few levels, the order I choose them in is irrelevant because you're just going to be going through them back to back. All right, now that we have maxed out Aldori Swordlord, let's go back into Aldori Defender and get this up to 20. For your level 21 feat, go ahead and take Aldori Dueling Mastery. It's going to give you a +2 bonus on initiative checks, but more importantly, you're going to get a +2 shield bonus to your AC. For your level 22 feat, get Greater Weapon Specialization, Dueling Sword. For your level 23 feat, get Cleave. At level 23, get Fighter's Tactics. It's going to allow you, for your teamwork feats, to always act as if your teammates have these feats and they're activating for you, even if they actually do not. For your level 24 feat, get Cleaving Finish. By the way, if you're wondering why we're not taking Cornigan Smash, yes, it fits in with this build because you can make an immediate intimidation check against an opponent if you damage them. But keep in mind, you've got to damage an opponent with a power attack. Even though we took power attack, we are not using it. And therefore, Cornigan Smash would not work for us. At level 25, take Great Cleave. And then for your level 26 feat, take Improving Cleaving Finish. So Cleaving Finish, every time you successfully kill an enemy, you're allowed to make another melee attack using your highest base attack bonus against another opponent within reach, but you're only allowed to do it once per round. Whereas with Improved Cleaving Finish, we're now able to do this any number of times per round. So as long as you keep killing, you can keep hitting. Once again, reinforcing that we should be right in the middle of the action, surrounded by as many enemies as possible. At level 27, take Combat Mobility. It's going to give you a +4 dodge bonus to AC against attacks of opportunity when you move out or within a threatened area. Really, the only reason we're taking this is that we need it for the other class we're going to dip into. And then for weapon training, go ahead and get Fighter's Reflex. And actually, I messed this up. You should actually switch the order of these two weapon trainings. So where I took the one for teamwork feats, you should take Fighter's Reflex there and then take teamwork feats here. At level 28, go ahead and take Penetrating Strike. At level 29, take Greater Penetrating Strike. At level 30 for Weapon Mastery, obviously you should be picking Dueling Sword. And then for your level 30 feat, go ahead and pick up Crane Style. Okay, so we've maxed out Aldori Defender and Aldori Swordlord. Let's go ahead and stick with the same theme though. Next up, Duelist. Right from the first level, you're going to get Candid Defense, which means you can add 1 point of intelligence bonus per Duelist class level as a dodge bonus to your armor class while wielding a melee weapon. By the way, keep in mind that dodge bonuses, unlike enhancement bonuses or other types of bonuses, stack. So you can get as many dodge bonuses as you want, all from different sources, and they will all work together. This class also gives you a lot of other great things, most of them geared around defense, and it fits in perfectly with everything that we want to do. Now, looking at skills, as a duelist, you're actually going to have 4 skill points as opposed to the 3 skill points you were working with before. Also, your numbers for persuasion, perception, and mobility should be very, very high, so you can make your own decision about whether or not you want to stick with those or try to build up something else. If you were going to try to do something else, I would definitely recommend Lore Nature. It's going to allow you to go a longer amount of time before you get tired, or Stealth probably goes in very well with the Blade theme as well. You can make your own decision about what it is you like to do. For your level 31 feet, take Crane Wing. For your level 33 feet, take Crane Repulse. For your level 35 feet, take Shake It Off. Shake It Off is going to give you a +1 bonus on your saving throw for every ally you're around, up to a maximum of +4. And remember, all of your allies are going to count whether they have this teamwork feat or not. For your level 37 feat, take Seize the Moment. Now, whenever your allies confirm a critical hit against an opponent that you threaten, you can make an attack of opportunity against that opponent. And then at level 39, I feel like you could really take whatever feat you want. We already have taken the teamwork feats that I feel like are really important for this build, and we threw the monk feats in there because it does fit in with Blade, and it fits in with the very defensive oriented build that we're doing right now. Me personally, I'm taking Iron Will because I believe it fits in with Blade being very resistant to any compulsion effects that vampires might try to put on him. But again, you can take whatever you like. Okay, and now since we're at level 40, let's just give a quick rundown of Duelist. Like I said before, it's going to give you that intelligence bonus to your AC, and it's going to allow you to add your Duelist levels to your damage roll. So this is basically a +10 to damage. You're also going to get a +2 bonus on initiative checks that increases to +4. And you're automatically going to get combat reflexes along with deflect arrows, as long as you're using the Duelist Sword one-handed, which we definitely are in this build. You're going to be able to make attacks of opportunity against any creature who you successfully parry, as long as that creature is within reach. You're no longer, your speed is no longer reduced on difficult terrain. And if you're fighting defensively, which you should be, you're going to gain an additional +1 dodge bonus to AC for every 3 levels of Duelist. So basically, this whole class gives you a +3 dodge bonus to your AC when you're fighting defensively. And it's going to increase your reflex saving throws as well. Finally, at level 10, you're going to get Crippling Critical, which gives you a bunch of different effects you can choose from to apply to your enemy when you are able to successfully do a critical hit. Me personally, of course, I want to reduce AC, so I go with Crippling Critical Armor class. All of that together fits right in with the Blade build that we have, everything that we want him to do, running in the middle, scaring enemies, slashing at anything that tries to run past him, and overall just being an overall terror on the battlefield. Okay, so now we're in a combat situation. I've got the usual buffs on me. Armor vestments, bark skin, haste, Crusader's Edge, magic weapon, things of that nature. Nothing really crazy here. Other than I do get a couple of things from the classes that I've taken. All right, so we'll go ahead and charge in, see what happens. And charged in, did 80 damage. Okay, we're back again. So let's see. The Gilbreth Commander rolled an 18 and was able to hit me, dealt 8 damage. Everybody else missed. And I deflected 1 projectile that an Abyssal Huntress tried to hit me with. Alright, now we should be able to get a full attack. We can, and we get 9 hits with this attack. Okay. So it looks like first we went for the Darachni. Hit him for 81 damage, and then hit him for another 81 damage. And it automatically activated Dazzling Display. We attempted to shake people up. Let's see, the Gronabasu is immune to nauseated, but the intimidation check succeeded. The Darachni died, and then we did a critical hit against the Gronabasu, which did 220 damage. And the Gronabasu died as well. So we'll get a little bit closer to the Gilbreth commander. So long line of misses from everyone attacking me. And you can also see they have to be able to hit an armor class of 84 in order to be able to hit me, between the defensive parry, inherent, all the usual things that you would expect, fighting defensively, things of that nature. These dodge defenses all stack. Great stuff. All right, and we'll do a full attack against him. Okay. And when we hit him, we did 71, 75, 69. So you can expect on a regular attack to hit somewhere between probably around 65 to 80. And then on a critical hit, it's going to do 200 plus. But he will continue to attack everything that's around him. Okay, and now we can't move, but at some point we'll get closer to the archer. All right, long line of misses from the archer, and the very last one hit, but then we deflected the projectile. Okay. So, first one was a critical miss. It happens. Next one was a critical hit, did 212 damage. And then the next time we hit again, did 87 damage. And of course, each time we killed one, we ended up intimidating and shaking anyone that was around the enemy. And this is on unfair difficulty. So I think it's very apparent that this build is extremely viable, both as someone who can do fantastic melee damage in your party and someone who can be a fantastic tank for you, running out into the fray, taking all the heat while dishing out massive amounts of damage. I think this build fits right in with everything that Blade is all about. But let me know down in the comments, what do you think? Is there something different that you would have done? Is there some essence of Blade that you feel like I missed that should have been added into this build? Definitely looking forward to seeing your comments, and as always, if you enjoyed this video, please leave me a like down below, share this video, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I will see you all in the next video. Take care.